"Joanna," Kevin said softly, almost like a confession. "You're the only one who really sees me." My heart pounded. I knew I should pull away, remind him who I was. But I didn't. Instead, I looked into those hazel eyes, and something in me, something lonely and foolish, gave way. Before I continue, let me pause for a while and appreciate you all that have been so dedicated to this channel. You all have been so amazing, and I am really grateful. Your countless support will never go unnoticed. Your comments, likes are very important to this channel. If this is your first time here, welcome to this family and subscribe for more beautiful stories. Now let me take you to the deepest part of this emotional, heartbreaking, betrayal, redemption, and lovely story. When I first met Kevin, he was 19. He had his father's sharp jawline and his mother's eyes, a shade of hazel that could catch the light and turn golden. I thought of him as a boy, nothing more. I had married Martin for love, not expecting to inherit an almost grown child. Martin worked long hours as a real estate developer. He was the kind of man who could walk into a room and immediately start thinking about how to redesign it. Kevin, on the other hand, was quiet, thoughtful, and had a habit of watching people before speaking. It began innocently. One evening, Martin was stuck at work, and Kevin and I had dinner alone. We talked about school, his plans, and his late mother. His voice softened when he spoke about her, and I felt an ache in my heart. I reached across the table, touched his hand, and told him I was here for him if he ever needed to talk. That night, something shifted. After that, Kevin lingered more around me. If I was in the kitchen, he would find a reason to come in, sometimes just to ask if I needed help. He'd sit by the counter, watching me slice vegetables, telling me about his day. One afternoon, I caught him looking at me in a way that made me feel unsettled. Not because it was wrong, though it was, but because a small part of me noticed. And that frightened me. I told myself it was nothing. I was his stepmother. He was a boy trying to find his place in the world. But soon, the air between us began to carry an unspoken tension, like a string pulled tight. The turning point came on a rainy Saturday afternoon. Martin was away at a conference, and Kevin was home from college for the weekend. The storm outside had knocked out the power, and the house felt dim and strangely intimate. We sat in the living room, wrapped in blankets, talking. The conversation drifted from movies to childhood memories. He made me laugh, really laugh, the way I hadn't with Martin in months. Then it happened. Kevin reached for my hand, just like I had reached for his that first night at dinner. But this time, there was no innocent comfort in it. His thumb brushed over my skin slowly, deliberately. "Joanna," he said softly, almost like a confession. "You're the only one who really sees me." My heart pounded. I knew I should pull away, remind him who I was. But I didn't. Instead, I looked into those hazel eyes, and something in me, something lonely and foolish, gave way. We didn't speak about it afterward, but everything changed. There were longer hugs, touches that lingered, and silences heavy with meaning. Every time Martin was away, Kevin found a reason to be near me. I told myself I could stop at any time. I was wrong. Once you cross a line, you can't pretend it isn't there anymore. Secrets have a way of rotting everything they touch. At first, we thought we could hide it, keep it tucked away where no one could see. But small cracks began to show. Martin noticed Kevin watching me during dinner. He noticed the way my voice softened when I spoke to him. He didn't say anything, but suspicion lived in his eyes. One evening, Martin came home early from work. Kevin and I were in the kitchen, standing too close, whispering about nothing important. Martin froze at the doorway. The silence that followed was deafening. He didn't shout. He didn't accuse. He simply looked at both of us as if seeing strangers. Then he turned and walked out. That was the night he didn't come home. The days that followed were heavy with tension. Kevin avoided me, his once bold glances now filled with guilt. I realized too late that I had let a young man's affection destroy the life I had promised to build. Martin filed for divorce a month later. Kevin left for another city, and we haven't spoken since. Some nights, I replay everything in my mind, the dinner table, the rainy afternoon, the look in Martin's eyes. And I think about boundaries. How easy they are to cross when you believe you're in control. And how impossible it is to rebuild what you've broken once you do. If you find this story interesting and relatable, subscribe and hit on notifications. Your comments and likes are highly important for the growth of this channel. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.